So I want to talk to you about hair concealer, how it's used, why people use it, the benefits of using hair concealer, but also what will probably eventually happen, and that is the negatives of using hair concealer. So what is it? It's a product that is used by men and women to help them conceal their thinning hair. It normally comes in a small tin or in a spray can, and you can either spray it on or it will be shaken on over the head. What happens is that fibres will be released and they kind of attach themselves to your single thinning hair strands. It can look very well, but too much application will create a matte and a very false illusion. I've seen many pictures where you look at the photograph and you can actually see a discoloration between the existing hair and where the fibres have been placed. It kind of creates a bit of a grey, matty effect. So over application will make your hair look false as well. It's going to restrict you in your day-to-day life. It's inevitably going to do that. It will also create skin problems for you, and it will probably also not be very good for your state of mind. So what are the restrictions with using hair concealer? There's many. Hair concealer is not very good water resistant wise. You can almost guarantee after 5 minutes, maybe 10, once the rain starts to hit your head or you have any kind of water put on, then that concealer is going to run down your face, and again that's going to be a bit of an embarrassing moment for you. Kind of things as, you know, if you get into a relationship as well, if you haven't told your partner that you're using hair concealer, you may find yourself in a bit of an awkward position the next morning where you wake up and that pillowcase that you've been lying on most of the night was once a white pillowcase has now turned into a brown pillowcase, because certainly with most men and with women, you know, they're going to be using the concealer around the top of the crown, lying on a pillow. It's just going to smudge straight on there, and that's going to be a bit an embarrassing thing and hard to explain to the person who's lying next to you the next morning. So it's going to restrict you a lot, and it's going to make you think very hard about the kind of things that you can and can't do. Let's talk about the problems that it will actually cause your skin. With hair concealer, as we say, it's going to go straight onto your hair, but it's ultimately going to start to lie onto your scalp. Now this is going to suffocate your scalp. Your skin is not going to be allowed to breathe. The pores in your skin are now closed. Now over months, possibly years, eventually you will start to create skin problems. They're going to happen. This will probably start generally with a bit of itching, kind of scratching, and the temptation of course is you want to scratch that scalp, but you can't do that, because if you do, you're going to be left with a big hole in your thinning hair once again. So you have to leave it. There's an uncontrollable itch there that you just can't stop. What's going to happen then is that you're going to have red rashes come onto your skin, and they're going to start to come through onto your scalp, and they're going to be very obvious to see. This is not good for you guys. It's going to be really bad for you, and you're kind of trapped because you can't do anything about this. You suddenly can't stop using the hair concealer because you're going to go from one day of having the illusion of thick hair to suddenly having thinning hair. And how do you make that transition with your family and friends? You can't do it. So you're going to have to keep applying this hair concealer. All these things combined about the restrictions it has, the problems it's going to have on your skin will ultimately play on your state of mind. As I've said, you're trapped. You're going to have to keep using it, and you're going to have to keep paying the price if it goes up more in cost. And also, if you start to lose even more hair, what can you do? You're just going to have to keep spraying suddenly in those areas that are now new, that have gone bald, and ultimately your hair is going to become one big ball of hair concealer. This is just simply my own experience. I used hair concealer for 15 years, and these are the problems that I found. So what can be done to help people who use hair concealer now to go from that appearance of having a good set of hair, and they can continue to keep having that illusion? Well, this is where scalp micropigmentation certainly helps. We use a process that we call the enhancer product, and it's a treatment where we will lift your existing hair, even if it's thin, and we will place the pigments onto your scalp, and they will look like individual hair follicles. This stops you using the concealer. Now, over 2 to 3 sessions, We will continue to apply the additional density, get the colour exactly right, and then at the end of those sessions you will have a permanent illusion of thick hair. There'll be no more no more rashes, no itching of the scalp, and you'll be able to just live your life happily. You'll be able to do all the physical activities you've never been able to do for such a long time, such as swimming, any kind of sports that involves any kind of physical contact, and just go out and enjoy yourself, and you don't need to worry about your hair loss anymore.